in the data centers you have in few places in the country, or you need to really overwhelm that strategy and bring in something in place that's agile, that can give you flexibility to move those resources as quick as you want, right? So I think that's clearly one piece. The second is the security. I mean, now you've generated the data, you've created an architecture that supports the data, that creates a experience that your consumers demand. But the question is, how do you make consumers, consumers out there will probably pay for apps that are interesting for them, that adds value to their business. How do you make them feel that it's secure? I think that's another interesting challenge, moving from voice to data and video and so on, you'll be faced with. And I think, again, your technology model, you need to put that vision in place. You need to put that elements in place so you take care of the security element. And the last piece, which panelists already mentioned, is the consumer experience, right? So consumer of today using the data is a very different consumer of voice. I remember Akhil mentioning if the customer is not calling you, means he's happy customer. so I think in data it's very different, because I think in voice, we as an industry, it was an easy task. You go segment the market, 5, 6 segments, you create tariff packages, go out, and it works. Data, every consumer is a different segment. When do I download what and why do I consume what is absolutely up to me. How the hell do you manage your network? So today, I think that's another challenge you as CTOs have, because you did that upfront network planning, you lay down the network, and yes, you need to tune it once in a while. But where the data consumption is going, you could have 3 young lads under a base station downloading videos at the same time. That throws your network planning out of the window. So you need to bring in that agility in the mix, to create that consumer experience. And also service architecture, for example, how do you orchestrate the service that when I, as a consumer, I'm consuming it, I'm liking what I'm seeing, there aren't latency issues, the experience is good. I mean, you mentioned, Ashwani, I think HD after HD is the 4K. And 5 minutes video is equivalent to a few million of SMSs that you were used to handling. I think so. All this, I think, put together really calls for a serious look of starting this transformation, embracing the technologies that are out there. I mentioned cloud. Look at your core network and how do you virtualize it as fast as possible. Of course, you've got to draw a roadmap. You can't virtualize everything now, but start with the pieces, network elements, I think that you can. And similarly, for IT, look at how do you, put this clouds into a mix of your current data structure, so you can take a control of compute and storage and so on and so forth. So I think
Okay.
that comes to my mind.
Yeah. So basically, you're talking about a 3-pronged strategy. You are looking at a strategy where you look at all the 3 key pillars of what will form the basis of the technology directions that we will be taking.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the last one, actually, maybe that's the 4th one then, is the business model. I think we heard a lot about, it's not what I can do, it's how we can as an ecosystem come together in a collaborative way.
So we'll come to the business models in a while. So so far, I think we focused more on the challenges, and I think you heard a very, very wide panorama of issues that are there before the telcos. Any quick reactions, comments, any questions that the audience has here? Yeah, can we have the mic there, please?
Hello. Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Ashfaq Hussain. I am heading Tata Teleservice as a professional services head. I have managed Vodafone as well as Reliance and now Tata Teleservice as Nerve Center. So I have been seeing across a lot of solutions, a lot of existing issues within the setup. We have been thinking smart cities. We have been thinking so many smart phones, so many smart ways of operating the systems, but we have never thought about smart telecom itself. Why the bandwidth we cannot mobilize towards a smart way, automatic way? we have never been thinking in these directions. Why can't we collaborate together within India, across the world, to smartly divert the traffic from the existing sources, existing networks where capacities are available? There are so many ways to do that, but we have not been in a forum. That is how we bring all people together in the forum to play smart telecom. New ideas I'm throwing into the cloud to think about that way so that we can commit tomorrow's M2M challenges and tomorrow's various data traffic challenges, which can happen anytime within next 5 years' time. So collaboration, yes, of course, which has been guided by all people. So I suggest to have some idea behind that. Collaboration, how to do within the competitors and operators so that we merge into one vision, provide best mechanism towards our consumer world, the best services through collaborations, which is a challenge as of today.
Do you want us to respond to
Yeah,
that?
please,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it's a point noted, obviously. What I do feel is that there is a mass transformation that is going on right now. It is no longer a siloed approach that everyone was used to, that was in prevalence earlier. So when we are talking about mass transformation, yes, there is a gradual shift that is taking place in terms of the collaboration on the technology front in order to use the entire bandwidth and infrastructure effectively is what your point from what I could hear you speak around. So the smart technology utilization, to make it much more acceptable, it has to be moving much more towards the software as a service, which is again in progress, but I couldn't agree with you a lot more that if we were to think about the entire infrastructure in whether it is IT or whether it is in network, I'm talking focusing only on the back-end systems, if all of those things were to be somewhere software configurable and changes and on-demand type of things that can be achieved like the Toyota model, in that case, it would be the right way where you're having OTT players coming in, providing services much more in the net neutrality thing, creating all of those other kinds of, major initiatives in place and diverting the attention in many respects of what our core business ought to be in terms of servicing the customer. So when we try and combine all of those things, make it much more software as a service, right from data center standpoint, from network standpoint, from IT standpoint, I think we are going to reach into that smart way of utilization of the technology infrastructure. And I'm sure there is much more to be talked about in this area. The industry consortium that you mentioned, for example, I'm a vice chairman in TM Forum, which is an industry consortium. It's a global body that brings the telecom providers, the suppliers, and also other kinds of ecosystem players into the same foray. But in order to bring it much more here in India, we need to have the appropriate association between NASSCOM, for example, and other global bodies, and the rest of the operators and the government bodies here. So I hope that helps a little bit with your question.
Yeah, yeah.
She covered the soft side of the answer. Let me answer the hard side of it. The collaboration cannot be mandated. If it could be mandated, probably we would have the
Done it long back then,
It's
perhaps.
the most difficult thing to happen. And it happens when there is a competitive pressure beyond a point where you have no solution other than the collaborate. That is what happened in the passive infra sharing. And then it has tapered down. In order to the scope of this collaboration to expand, there needs to be a little more competitive pressure, I think, which will certainly come. And there would be collaboration in various fields, including the active collaboration. Ideally, we should have, instead of laying optical fiber, for example, across the country, we should have a pool of optical fiber, which then can be shared by everybody, because on that fiber you can have infinite bandwidth, right, which will serve the needs of everybody. But then the bandwidth is a commodity that can be monetized, and everybody would want to monetize, and therefore there would be no collaboration. So this is a kind of question, I mean circular question, and you can come out of it only when the operators and all the stakeholders who are involved decide that in order to meet the competitive pressure, probably collaboration is the way out. Collaboration ideally is the best, and that was the answer initially for the monopoly, that since the resources have to be optimally utilized and not the investment would be not duplicated, so have the monopoly. So the very fact that there is a competition means there would be some kind of environment which is not totally collaborative. So in a way, this is a good situation. And when you reach a particular threshold where collaboration becomes necessary, it will happen.
I think, like, if you look back, let's say 10, 12 years, 15 years that, our networks have been in existence, lot of collaboration has happened, and I think, when we talk to our other colleagues in other countries, so maybe we are ahead of many countries, already, but, I fully agree with you that there is a need to take it to next stage also. So we are already sharing our passive infrastructure, we are already sharing our service, organizations by the term of managed services, so all these kind of things are already in place. Some of the other, possibilities that are possible to share, like, for example, active sharing or spectrum sharing. So there are, these regulatory, processes which are already in place, and, as a operator, we expect that those clarities will be there, which will give us, much more opportunity and much more, leverage to cooperate among each other, among all the operators, so that, one of the challenges that most of us talked about, my colleagues talked about, is to keep the cost of, network at the least, and the best way is to, by collaborating with each other, and the best way is to have one network and let everybody use that, So for that, I think these processes are on, and once we see that, I think we will be there to take benefit of that also.
I think Samir wanted to say something on this.
I just wanted to give an example of collaboration. You can just see your handsets, all of us are here. The charging point is different. The iPhone has a different charger, the Samsung has a different node, everybody is different. So we need to start collaboration there. So that's one point. The second thing is all about collaboration.
You have thrown the ball back.
The collaboration actually starts when the other party or the third party or a team of collaborators do not feel that the other guy is going to win more. He gets 70% share, I get 30. It has to be a win-win situation, and when that happens, and only that will happen when we actually collaborating at a level playing field. So we all have to work together, that we create the environment that yes, it's not a win-win for only one guy, and we have all of us are joint winners equally in that ecosystem. And then only the collaborations will actually really happen. And we are doing it, as Ashwini was saying, Mr. Bhargav was saying, that collaboration